Welcome into the stream, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. We're going to go through some housekeeping to get the day started. But first and foremost, what a nice sell-off today. I can't say that we are surprised. We were hoping for this kind of action for quite some time now. And now we're getting it. So it's always nice to see when markets finally start to operate in a way that's familiar. But yeah, we'll go through a lot of what we see today, go over some levels. Let's see. There we are. So yeah, welcome into the stream. Welcome in. Feel free to ask some questions. We're going to go over some charts, some levels. Going to first break down the NQ. Obviously, we had some earnings after the bell, which did kind of it kind of affected how price is going to move. Obviously, it's a very common thing that happens. But what do we have that occurred today? Well, simply put, we had a nice rejection at the highs. This was an all-time high rally. I was actually in this trade, mistakenly did not take anything off on that, and then round tripped it on my live account. Was able to get repositioned for the short earlier today. Caught, essentially, I'll show you the moves I caught real quick, and then we'll get into some levels. Nothing's really happening just yet. We tried a long, cool, got it back to here. I was thinking maybe it'd dig deeper. Thought on this push it would happen, basically gave that back. And then we caught the short from here on the inversion, like literally entry at 660, and then caught that down to essentially right here. That was the move we caught today. So it was not a bad trade at all. I thought today's action was pretty nice. Aside from that, we were able to re-enter. I took this on my live account from here down to here, trailed out like right there, I believe. Let's see, I trailed out right here at 380. So basically from 570 to 380, so almost 200 points, just a little shy of 200 points. That was a really nice trade. There's a lot of opportunity in today's session, but where does that leave us now? Well, simply put, in a bit of a tricky spot, because when we go over here and check out our top one futures account, we'll go through some of the levels, get everything nice and neat for you guys. But what we want to do is essentially start to establish some context. So what do we have here? Looking at the 15. This is pretty much what happened. We sold off. We're now underneath this FOMC low, right? Now, where do we go from here? Question is, do we need to keep going lower? There are some lows if we look left. That's always going to be the main goal you have, is to look left, see what's occurring there. But I think for now, given the fact that this was such a severe sell-off, I do think we can have a little bit of a bid right here. I do think it'd be okay for it to hold and ultimately look for some opportunities to the upside. So that's what I have in mind. We'll go ahead, clean this up a little bit. Bring nice one chart to the center. So this is what we're going to be looking at right here. Let's take a look at the daily chart. A lot of levels here. Want to clear them off. Want to see what we've been doing on the daily. If we look at the daily chart, we can see that we've been in this pretty steep uptrend, right? There's been no sweeps. We've talked about this a number of times on stream. No sweeps to the downside. This really does make it seem like it's likely to want to dig back down to these lows. Any of them would be okay. However, we don't need to anticipate that's going to happen. We could simply wait. What did we do? We closed underneath the prior day low. So if we want to completely redo our levels altogether, I'll give you some really clean levels that you can use going into tomorrow. So you're going to be looking at this. This is that day prior to essentially today's session. Closing underneath there is really going to be a significant low. So I'd mark this as a important daily level. That's what I would consider this. We had a really weird exchange of price action. So basically what happened is we had this initial day that reacted to this initial day. Watch this. This is like what you call inside barception. So we have day one, right? These two candles right here. This is day one. So can we get both of them? No, I guess we can't click both. But we have two lines right here, and then we have two more that are on the outside of that. This is something I rarely will ever see. So it's really cool to kind of point out. You have these blue ones, and then you have these red ones right here that we'll draw in. Make these red. And then we have this final day. So this is like 4 outside bar days in a row. what is going on, you know? And then now you have this, obviously, that hasn't done anything. So where are we going from here? It's a really good question. I do think to right here would be okay. This 200s. If you follow me on Instagram, it's my same name as on YouTube, Decipher the Algo. I was posting about this trade as it was happening. In fact, I gave a pretty solid call out on this short on the hourly fair value gap. Probably one of my favorite trades in a minute. You know, you have this big overreach of the highs, big overreach, right? You sweep out all this, you gap up, you rally. Here's where I'm thinking maybe wants to hold into the open. There was no bid and we sold off, but this was such a clear entry for anybody down to here. Are you kidding me? So that was the exact trade that I called out. I said, I want to see a trade down to here, these lows. And that's what we did. I probably drew this one, honestly. I think the 330, but I said 300s. That's what I wanted to see today. And then you basically just trade it off of this fair value gap right here. You don't even need to drop a time frame. You can just use the hourly chart. That's probably one of the cleanest charts I've seen in a long time. So what we'll do now is kind of go over some other levels that I'll be looking at for the remainder of the week, and we'll kind of go from there. Slow drift so far off the open. We're going to check some other markets, see what gold's doing and stuff of that nature. Gold's, yeah, still at the bottom of this range. So this is where we're at right now. So where we are at, and we will keep an eye on things moving forward. Welcome in. We're going to be reviewing some levels here in a second, going over what I see happening for the rest of the session. I'm going to take a look at some crypto. See what we got here. It's just consolidating at these highs. That's a good sign. We want to see Alrighty, so looking at Ethereum, we see Ethereum looking like that. I'm gonna give this a second. We're gonna give this a second. Go grab some water. Alrighty, let's hop back on here. Let's get some levels going. Let's get some discussion going. The daily is looking quite insane, ladies and gentlemen. The daily chart is looking crazy. So what do we do with all this info? What do we do with this? Quite simply, we just look to align with the higher time frame trend. If we put in a high up here, which I think we might have, the other end of the box would be down here. That's how I'm looking at it. I think this is probably the cleanest framework you could find. So let's start to see if there's any sort of potential trade for us in this market. I do think that there might be some opportunity over here on micro NQ. I'll pull up the 15-second chart, and we're gonna start looking at some levels, get this 5-minute up. Yeah, we could potentially look for a breakdown right here to trade through the lows to continue to align with the trend. Now these ranges, I want you to keep in mind, these ranges are quite large. So just for reference, so you guys have an idea, we're looking at right here, this is 48 points, meaning if I have 5 micros right here, that's a 25-point stop. Like the stop size adds up quick. Just keep that in mind. So if we're looking at a 50-point range and our stop's trying to be, just say, you know, about half of this, if we're stopped on the high, you know, you're talking a couple $100 for a couple micros. So that's something, we'll keep this reference in mind. I'll have this set up. Take a look at our handy tick chart. Let me know if the audio is all good. Let me know if you could hear everything all nice and neat. The plan is in the future to have live mixes on here. I would like to incorporate some sort of musical element into the trading, because trading itself is kind of boring. If I can make it a little more interesting, I'm gonna do that. But as it currently stands, yeah, just looking at this, is this gonna be a bear flag for the trade to the lows? We could kind of stab around at this with like a micro or two. I think that'd be acceptable. Do 2 micros or something. See what I mean? 2 micros, you're talking a couple points. It's already $50 on the stop. You know, it adds up quick in this range is what I'm saying. So we'll look to see if we could trade to the downside. Pull up the 30-second chart as well. Just kind of going over what you would be looking for in a market like this. So if you're looking for some sort of continuation, you'd want to just see price start to develop lower highs, maybe these little consolidations, you're looking for it to roll over. It's pretty indecisive right now, just given the fact that we did have a massive sell-off today and we are post earnings. But just to kind of feel things out, we wanted to see how price is going to behave. We'll go ahead and throw a micro or two on. You know, we made for, I don't know, like 430 today.
If you could go back.
So what I like to do when I put on a trade is nothing. I like to take a minute and kind of just pause, let it work, right? So the idea is we see these pushes higher. If we're looking at the session, you're talking opens right about here. We'll put this on like the 30-second chart. Yeah, so you get the open right here, this candle. So this will be your opening price. So the idea is if you reject the opening price, you're going to trade back down to these lows. And I have, this is a level from somewhere, that's for sure. Let's see what we're looking like. Oh, it's back here, yeah. So we have this low right here. Okay, cool. So there's an hourly level right here. That's what we drew earlier, so. And then what would be the next level underneath that? You have anything down here. I don't really necessarily, I don't know where it's gonna go, but we're just kind of pointing out what you'd be eyeballing and trying to identify in terms of like continuations. So you obviously have this low that we're targeting. It's a rejection of the opening price, a little consolidation right here. That's how I'm looking at it. You also had this series of up candles like this. So in my mind, it's a pretty reasonable structure. Get rid of that. You just want to see this kind of start to form lower highs and trade towards that 60-minute low from over here. Kind of share this with you right here. See, even if we go on the 15-second chart, right here, you can see lower highs forming. So we'd want to run the wick down to the 300s would be nice. 300s gets us paid. Down to 300s would get us paid, ladies and gentlemen. So what we'll do is we'll start to monitor the movement here. As soon as it tags the target, I'm probably going to let go of the stop loss. I haven't let go of it yet. I might do it actually right now because right now it's not registered as an updated stop. Now it is, right? Now it's updated. So we'll see if we get the continuation through these lows. Maybe just take it off. No, I guess it didn't let me take it off. That's kind of brutal. Oh, well. We give a little room. See if we get that retracement back. Did it run the wick? I can't really tell. No, it looks like equal lows. Well, that's the problem with lower liquidity markets. They have the tendency to bounce really aggressive. So looked like we had a good opportunity to get out of the trade, and it just didn't fill me. Oh, well. I won't let this go red, though. I don't see a point in that. That was just annoying. That was like 40 bucks. It's like 40 bucks we could have put in our pocket and kept. Now we had to deal with it bouncing like this. Look at the 100-tick chart. Yeah, let's see if we get this movement down to where we need. It'll probably just wick up right here, even if it works. We had a good opportunity. It didn't exit the trade like we wanted it to. I even tried moving the target. But let's see. Maybe we get lucky. Maybe we get the rollover here. I'm going to pull up the 5-minute on the next chart right here. So you can see it's kind of compressed. Maybe a 2-minute, honestly. There's a lot of price action here. Yeah, there's the 2-minute. So we want the hammer to fill, basically. We're going to get the exit. We need the hammer to fill. This is now what I would see as maybe a higher low forming, but we want to see this one hold as the lower high. We get that roll to the lows, then we have a good opportunity to exit. Cool, it's rolling to the lows. Nope, it's not. It's not. It's kind of playing with our emotions here. So will it tag our stop or will it tag our trade target? It's a question. I gotta let it work, gotta let it work. There's nothing else you can do in these times. We have a good kind of rotation going on here. We have this nice structure here. We pull up the 1 minute as well. We go 30-second or 15-second and 1 minute. That's our structure. We have that order block that we use right here. Make this a dark maroon. There we are. Now we're almost there. Alrighty, guys, do you think we'll get it? I think once we push 304, I think I'm going to trail it to like 312. Is that cool with everybody? We trail it like this. I think it's a trade that'll work, you know, because then we have room for the downside expansion. So we go like this. We'll basically let go of the stop once it starts to push 304. The stop has not updated, so it's currently just being held in my hand. So it is not counted as an updated stop loss. I'm waiting for a rotation of this 30-second candle through 304 before I drop it. Cool, cool. 304, baby. Let's get it. Let's get it. If we get through 304, do me a favor and leave a like. We just need to take this down into the low day. Down to the low day, and we will have room for that runner. Okay, we've tested 304. I want a down close candle through 304, and I will let go of the stop loss. Right now, I'm being patient. I'm giving it space. I'm letting it work. That was almost it. We almost saw it there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if we get this. We're almost there. So stop will go to 310 once I see a push through 304. I just need it to convince me. Show me what you got. Let's see it. Okay, we get the flip. We get the flip. That 30-second flip is crucial. We need one candle to push through the lows, and we should be good. One candle. I will let go of this as soon as I see 304 on the tape. The stop, again, is not updated. It's still at 17. But if I get a flip through 304, I will drop the stop right here, and we will be tighter in profit. You see it wants to. Look at that 1 minute candle. That really wants to go lower. Will it, though? Will it go lower is the question, guys. So we're almost there. We're almost there. Get a nice little win on stream. Let's see it happen. About to let go of it. Okay, I let go of the stop. The stop is now in profit even more. And now I'm going to trail it even more right here. So we are now at $39 on this tiny trade. And now, okay, cool. We got it. We got the exit. Now we have one trail left. We made like, I don't know, 20 bucks there or something. Yeah, we're up $37, ladies and gentlemen, on this massive trade. But in all seriousness, I like to put on a little tiny trade every now and then to kind of talk through what I'm looking at. It's more of a teaching tool than a means to make money in some scenarios, because to me this is just price action. Like, maybe give this I'll just leave it there. I don't care. To me, it's just price action. We're not trying to, hit home runs right here. This is not the market condition for it. But if you have a couple bucks, you want to throw something at something, might as well in Asia. It's a nice little time to kind of recuperate, relax, learn some things, go over some lessons. Again, Top One Futures. We're doing this all on our Top One Futures account. So I think we just added 50 bucks. Yeah, 57 bucks in a couple minutes. Not too bad. It's better than nothing, right? It's better than nothing. So what we did was we saw the order block right here form, right? This big push. We entered through that on the break through the opening price for the day, the 1800 right there. And we traded it back down to that 60-minute low that had not been tested yet. So to me, this is what I would consider like an A+ kind of textbook trade. It's like there was enough logic for me to want to take it. Stop placement, and I'd say it's subpar. I could have maybe had it above the wick, but whatever, right? We're not worried about making $1 million right here. We'll make 40 bucks, 50 bucks. Made 400 today, so it's been an okay day. Made like 500 on my personal, so just kind of chipping away at some stuff. It's not too bad to be up $1,000 on a given trading day. So now this is what you'd be watching. You have the low of the session, you have the 60-minute low. You'd want to see if this thing is going to do any sort of funny business. What I mean by that is you don't want to see it bounce all crazy. All right, so it looks like we're still making lower highs, which is good. We caught the short right here. I think that's really important to talk about. We were able to catch the little short right here. Mind you, this is a trade where you don't need a lot of range to make money because the range is already so big. So look at this. We had a short here at 318 on the order block, and we took it down to these lows. That was the trade we took. I feel like it was a pretty solid trade overall. And from there, there we are. So we're seeing a little bit of a bounce. Perfect exits, I would say then, because, we got out on strength into the lows. We got out on a big push. And then we also trailed out right here. So this is digging a little higher. This is something that would have hit my other trail if I had it higher, obviously. So I'm okay with what actions we took today. 57 bucks is not too bad on the session for Asia, just kind of chipping away at some little stuff. It's really not that bad. So what we'll do from here is we'll watch it for a little bit longer, but we're not going to go super long today, guys. We got some other stuff to do. We will be live though tomorrow morning. So if you are around for the New York stream, set alerts, leave a like, come check it out, do your thing. But we'll be trading live tomorrow. Friday should be pretty good. I mean, like, let's really look at what we did this week. What do we got? Yeah, we got some crypto's kind of topping out actually. Okay, that's not good. NQ, yeah, it's kind of just at the top of a move. It's top of a move right here. Right? We had to dig for something. We got to at least try. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. This will be a quick stream. You know, I want to see some back and forth with everybody. Want to hear some dialogue. So if you have questions, drop them. Drop them. Let me hear your questions, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, we'll be full porting probably some bonds. Let's full port some bonds. See what we got. Let's see, let's do. Yeah, we'll full port some bonds. Yeah, perfect. Look at that. Look at that consolidation. So 54 bucks up on the day. We're kind of just hanging out. I think we'll be good with that, honestly. I think we'll be kind of good here. 54 bucks. You know, maybe you take the long here. Maybe you get it back to the session highs. Let's see. Do we want to try one? Do we want to try one long back to the highs? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe we'll try one. That could work. It's kind of basing out. I like this. A little breaker. Could obviously roll over, but, you know, we'll risk 20 bucks, whatever. Call it a trade. We'll see if this is going to do something for us. But as far as the severe trades go, the big boy trades, we're just chilling today. There's nothing too convincing in price action where I really want to put any sort of size on. I'll throw pennies at it. Throw pennies at it. I like the 5-minute closure, by the way. I think this is really clean. I do think we could even just take this back off into like 1800 or something. We really could take it off into anywhere. So that's the trade I'm looking at. I think that's a really good setup for a rotation back into the range. We know how Asia likes to fade back and forth. So if we get a little one-to-one action right here, that's cool. Cool with me. If we hit this, leave a like. If we don't, leave a like. We'll be wrapping up pretty much after this trade. So once I see it above 325-ish, somewhere like that, that's where I would trail. And if not, it should, I mean, it kind of should go lower. I'm not of the mindset we're bullish right now. I'm just looking at the idea that I know Asia likes to have these little low liquidity runs. And that's kind of the premise there. So if we see some expansion, especially on this next 5-minute candle, take it off into strength, call it a day. If not, it stops us out. We gave back half of our, couple bucks that we made today, and we'll be happy with the 400 we made during New York. So yeah, pretty quick liquidity sweep to the top, and then now to the downside. This could be a good short though. Let's see. Yeah, see what we're kind of looking at. Do we want to try the short? It's kind of moving quick. Okay, we'll try this. Right there, boom. Take this through new lows. The way it invalidated that 1 minute kind of uptrend really quick, I'm going to use that as an order block. That's the premise for this trade. We're up 35 bucks. Just kind of playing with house money. It's really nothing, we're playing with a couple bucks. Not a big deal. You don't really have too much below here. So it's like if it does get going, I mean, what? You could go down to here. That'd be a crazy move. Probably wouldn't happen during the overnight session, but look at, when you start to pick up in velocity of price, that's where I'm starting to think, look for the short. So this would be the order block right here. So we're through that 60-minute low. So we'll watch it, give it some space, give it some freedom. It's really kind of folded over though. Look at this. Okay, so we're starting to get some displacement. Do we want to run for 23K? That's the question. Do we have the juice to run? We'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot. Alrighty. So we're monitoring this downside move. We'll see if this fair value gap wants to hold as a bearish level. I might actually look to do, let's see, what do I want to do here? Let's see what we got. I think we might get one of those moves overnight. Down to maybe we get 23K overnight. Because this is kind of a move that caught people off guard, not gonna lie. So what if we get that overnight swing that we sometimes see? That'd be a good trade. Notice how we're kind of just displacing, and I'm sure we could pull up the volume right here, and we'll see that volume's increasing as well. Hey, you see the break of the lows has some increased volume. So to me, this is it's a tangible move. It's real. It's, it's got potential. Will we get down to 23,000? I don't know. I have no idea. But what we can do is, as this moves down further, alrighty. So we see it continuing to move to the downside. We really want to see this continue. Wow, what a day. Should not have traded. I tilted. Well, walk me through it, brother. Walk me through it, my man. What do you think went wrong? Tell me a little bit about the trades, because believe me, I've been there before, done some crazy stuff. is what it is, you know. Probably do it again in the future whenever. So it's not a you thing. It's a very common thing that happens. But I think it's good to walk through like whatever it was specifically. So were you long, short? What were you looking at? I know New York session was crazy. It's a lot of volatility. This is hard to be long. So gotcha. Gotcha. So tried to time the reversal. ATR was massive. Should have lowered contract size. Yep, 100%. So the bounces today, we'll kind of go over this because you're right. It was a massive, massive move. I had a short right here, or I had it up here, obviously. I had it right here, down to here, and it bounced 100 points. And it trailed my target like 70 points or something. So I only made like 200 points instead of 270. But yeah, the moves are massive. So what happens here? Yeah, trending markets are brutal. You're speaking to the choir, brother. Like I honestly, my worst trades, I would be trying to buy right here, and I just get smoked. So I think the good thing you can do for a day like this is like, yeah, it's important to know that you can't trade these too well or whatever you might think. There's always a trade. There's always a trade. So even if you have an entry here for the short, a stop up here or something, and a target down there, if you set it super wide, you're not worried about like getting the peak of it. It might go up twice and then still go down. If you know that there's a strong likelihood that it can trend lower, it's a good trade, you know? So I had two trades today. One was right here and one was right here, essentially. I had one into the close. One was on the 60-minute. Yeah, I had this one here as well. All right, so we're getting a little bit of a bounce. We'll see if this is going to sustain itself. Take a look at the 30 seconds, so the 100-tick chart as well. Yeah, look at this. This is kind of a very swipey market. So I go back and forth. So look at the 100-tick, and I'll look at the 30-second as well, I believe, maybe 15-second. Yeah, so you want to see this kind of top out. Yeah, right. Okay. Bias was completely wrong. Hey, same. I came in overnight with a long. So I had a long from on my live account. I had a long from right here. It went all the way up to here, and then it just murked me. Like it went back to break even. Or no, I think I took a stop on it. Stupid. But with that, when I saw this huge invalidation of my thesis, I go, I get what it's doing. It's going to go for these lows that it didn't touch yesterday. And that's ultimately what we did. So it's not about catching it. You don't have to catch the top right here. You can identify the trend day right here or right here. You can have some time. Typically what I like to look at is like if you have these big broad candles out of a consolidation, it's hard to get long right here. I will never have a good trade buying right there. You have like one opportunity for like a rubber band type trade, and if that fails, it's normally a no-go. Again, also midnight open price. This is something I look at every day. I'm always looking at midnight open. I think midnight open is such a valuable tool. So right here, basically what you're seeing is when price kind of forms this little peak above midnight open, especially at the top of a trend, it's very likely for it to kind of do this. So this is just a pure market maker sell model. That's what we're looking at, pure market maker sell model. It took me a little bit to realize. I thought we might do like a double bottom here. Didn't happen, and then just kind of murked right through. So that stuff's normal. Like, you know, there's a million times where I get it wrong, but over the years, I've definitely gotten better at seeing, okay, let me not buy here. Let me not buy these peaks. I still will try a long or two, maybe, right? Like I'll try it, but I won't be overly committed to it. I won't be overly sized. You made a good point though, bringing up ATR. You should always pay attention to ATR because if you can see ranges are bigger, you know your risk is increased. There's no other way around it. That was like one of the first things I did when I got on. I pointed out the fact that like this little itty bitty Asia range is 50 points. now we're down quite a bit. We're down. See how much were we up on this trade? 62 points. Ugh. Maybe probably should have trailed this a little better. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna stop us. I don't trust this thing. What do you guys think? You think this will pull back on us? I don't really trust it. I don't like this. At least we have this fair value gap here to kind of protect us on the 5 minute. But yeah, 60 points. I feel like I probably should have taken something off. Yeah. ATR, yeah, ATR was like 20, felt like 100 or something. Yeah, look at like the period of ATR for sure. Because I'm sure, you know, obviously it's hard to tell what the daily ATR is going to be at the beginning of the day. And it's like a, you know, it's a delayed indication. It's the last 7 days. But I would say like, let's see. Yeah, it was probably this candle. Like from here to here, when we did 56 points in a couple minutes, that was a really strong indication. Because before that, it's like to go 50 points, it was like taking, let's see, from here to here, it's about 50 points. That took an hour and 10 minutes. Then from here to here, it was 60 in 20 minutes. So that rate of change is huge. This is like a parabolic move from this point. Not to mention that was directly after the news at 8:30. So you had news right here, you had news high and news low. Yeah, this is like your data range. So you can see this right here. I'll mark out in like, I don't know, purple or something. Yeah, this right here was your data range. So when it just puked out of here, if this level doesn't hold, it's bearish. So you can look for shorts in here, which is ultimately what we did, what I did earlier on stream today. And man, this thing's really just giving me a hard time. It's just digging back as we talk and hang out. I guess it was too easy of a trade. This was just through the, you know, it was like dying. Now it's gotta take back all these weak shorts. So see what we got. We got a 5 minute gap here. We'll check for an OTE as well. See if we get maybe something to save us. It looks like about 50% equilibrium at this range. Man, what an easy move. We kind of just fumbled that. That's funny. That's funny. 618 and then 72. Yeah, making a bullish pennant at the moment. I mean, you know, just gotta let it do what it's gonna do. There's nothing I can do. I have my risk set. I didn't expect it to pull back this much. Otherwise, I probably would have trailed it a little bit, but it's already moving towards my stop. It's like if I move it right now, it's just gonna stop me. If I keep it where it's at, I have the best chance for it to work out. I have the best chance. And ideally, this forms a swing high right here, and then I can position my stop above that swing high. Yeah, talk about a move. Wow, I really fumbled that. I genuinely fumbled that trade. That's not funny. I mean, it's kind of funny, but we'll see if it works out, right? Perfect 61.8 retracement. See, is that where it wants to stay? You're in a long now? Yeah, best of luck, man. Best of luck. I have no dog in this race. I'm risk-free, so if it works for me, cool. If it doesn't, cool. Not exactly loving the location right now. I think this is a deep pullback. I don't see why it has to hold here. It can easily run. But again, I can't really do anything with my risk. What, move it like $2? Like, there's nothing I can do. Nothing I can do. It was a little too easy. A little too easy, up 50 points. Yeah, I mean, the 100-tick chart's kind of bullish. I see it. Yeah, this little breakout right here. Yeah, it's really just going for the stop. That's crazy. It really just round tripped that whole thing. Huh. Sometimes this stuff will just make you laugh. You're like, that was such an easy move, not even paying attention, just pulls back all the way. Like all the way. That's actually kind of crazy. Oh well. I don't even know what it hit. What did it hit? What do we tag? Nothing? It's thin air? What do we got? Like nothing over here. Anyways. This is like our deepest pullback zone that we can really tolerate. Anything past this is like, it's just asking for problems. The 2-minute chart, I do not trust this though at the moment. I do not trust this. I think we can default to a 2-minute gap right here. And we just want to see it stay below here. All right. See if we get this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna mark out this in a different color. Yeah, that's a good sign for me. It's a good sign. Starting to see it work a little bit, but I don't trust these. This happens a lot in Asia where it puts in a top candle and then it just pushes it. It's low liquidity. There's no rules here. It's Wild West. So yeah, we got the 2-minute fair value gap. We have a fair value gap right here, but like, are you be kidding? If we can't roll over right here, then what are we even doing? Go ahead, drop this onto all the lower time frames, current interval and below. So now we want to see this roll over. Can we form a lower high? That's the question. Can we form the swing high? If you think we can form the swing high, leave a like. If you think we're going to get stopped, leave a like because I'll need it. Again, we're trading this on our Top One Futures instant funded account. There's the best deal of the year going on. Summertime end of summer sale. So go ahead, check it out in the description. 55% off any accounts, any type, challenge, instant funded. I prefer to trade the instant funded. If you know what you're doing, give it a shot. And yeah, code DTA will get you the best discount possible. That's all linked down below. In and out of your trade, quick, $300. Love to hear it. Hey, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. You either size quick or you size bigger and you go for the quicker moves, or you can kind of size down and go for the bigger trends. Right now, we're kind of playing with the thesis that this could sell off overnight. That's what my prerogative is. So even though it pulls back, I don't think that's a problem. I think it could still roll over. Every market needs pullbacks. Like that's what it's been doing this all day. It's not news. It went boom, 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 you know? So it's just part of the game. Looking like we're getting the swing high right here, ladies and gentlemen. If you're enjoying the stream, leave a like, leave a comment. Appreciate everyone in here coming and checking out the stream. We're gonna let this roll for low of day. That's the goal right there. Can we get low of day? We might be willing to take this off at like 200. I don't need to hold this forever. I'm just playing with the idea of it. I wouldn't mind taking it down to 200. You take a 23K too. I don't care. Either or. So I don't like this candle sequence where it's 1, 2 down candles. I need it to follow through on this next candle. If it doesn't follow through, I'm thinking it's going to push highs. And that's like my next thought. So let it do its thing. We're looking better. We're looking better. We almost didn't survive that pullback. We almost did not survive. So now I want to bring your attention to where we're putting the stop. We put it at the swing high. I feel like this swing high should not get traded back to. If it trades back to here, I think the trade's done and it will probably go to here. Minimum. Get the 30-second chart up. So, and oh yeah, by the way, let me know how the audio quality is. Let me know if you hear anything, that if it doesn't sound all that great. Sounds perfect, let me know. We're still new to this live streaming thing, but we're going strong. We're putting the energy into it, getting everything dialed in, so just let me know. market loves to make double bottoms. It's very true. Very true. It's very rare for a level to be tested one time. They'll normally come back and test it. Whether it breaks it or not, that's ultimately what keeps a range or a trend. So I'm looking for this to break through here. Easy. Easy. I'm looking for this to break through. I'm looking for that 4 hour to kind of continue, maybe into here. I think this is such a tightly coiled range that trading lower should be more than reasonable. My opinion. See what the 1 minute looks like. Okay, so 1 minute's not my favorite. I'll like tighten this a little bit. So the question is, will we invalidate this fair value gap right here? I think we might. I think it might go for the stop right now. Hey man, you know that this is the best thing about trading. Listen to this comment, everybody. Don't listen to me. Do or don't, right? Like it doesn't matter what someone's opinion is, because someone could think different than you and they could still be right or make money, even if they don't have the right logic. That's why I find it so funny on Instagram or TikTok or whatever. People will be like, wait, why would you take that trade? It's like, why does it matter? You know, they could do the wrong thing and get the right outcome. So that's the best part when you don't have a bias. Like there's really, I will trade next to people and they'll be long, I'll be short, whatever. It makes no difference. Because I know the way that I will take a lot of losses if I flip back and forth. If I just focus on one idea, I'd rather be wrong once than wrong 10 times, especially if I'm flipping back and forth, because then you're super off guard, you're super disoriented. So my goal is just to look for this to trade lower. So that's what I put on the trade. I put on this trade because I want to see it go lower. Based on how aggressive it broke, I thought that was a good move. Pulled back super deep, back to one of those fib levels, which, you know, in all reality is not terrible. But yeah, trading should never be a personal thing at all. It's like sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. I'm wrong quite often, you know. But the point is how do you manage those losses? That's what will determine your profitability. So can we get the next leg lower is our question. And we got trailed. Cool, we got trailed. So I made a higher low. It invalidated that fair value gap like we thought. What does that mean for structure? I don't know. Market's pretty volatile right now, so we'll have to see. Maybe it's just a sweep to the highs. Looks like it might be. So we'll consider some options. So what do we add? Like 20 bucks? So yeah, we're at 50 bucks on the day. 50 bucks on the day. We're about to hit that hour, the new hour in 1 minute. I think I'm gonna wait for the hourly candle to open and then I will look to see what we can do. Long bottom wick. I mean, it's kind of one of those markets where it could kind of dig higher before running lower. Anywho, at least we got a good trade, kind of. It just trailed us in profit on the pullback. I'll be watching, I guess, probably right here. Get rid of this. We're on a 2 minute chart. Cool. It's still in that pullback zone. All right, so this is what we're looking at. We have about 5 seconds left. It's like on a break below here, it might be good for a trade. You probably do that on a break below. I don't know if we tested this upper fair value gap. Did we? No, not really. So if this is going to be a change in state right here, a little breaker type structure, there's a little bit of chop city. I mean, it's still in a downtrend for sure. It's in a downtrend. I'm looking at this to have a stop right here. 20 points, 3 contracts, 60, $110. Okay. So yeah, this will be our risk point right here. Looking for this continuation from this point. No. From this point down to here. Alrighty, can we get the continuation? We're looking for some base hit targets on these scalps, on these first two partials. It'll be interesting to see if we can get it. Looking for the rotation through the downside. So that's the main idea. Yeah, it looks like we might just get the invalidation of it. Oh well. So, I want my stop right here, 290. So I want to see this form as a lower high. That'd be my idea. You could trade the sweep. The sweep seems like a good idea, right? My thesis is just aligned with, I'm trying to align with the 5 minute, 15 minute. 15's not too great. The 5 minute does look good. It's kind of wicking though, to be fair. So maybe just got kind of duped into a trade. All good though. Take the quick stop right here. Very quick invalidation of the trade idea. Very quick. Let's see. I might be overly tight on the stop though. Give it a couple more bucks. Yeah, that really didn't validate it. Oh yeah, look at that 15 second. That's not good. So this type of action right here is really, when I see fair value gaps and stuff, to me that looks like a quick stop. So I think this trade's dead. Did not work out this time. That's all good. I'm just looking at the sweeps, the sweep of the prior high. I'm looking to align with that downside move. I don't know if I need to move this wider. I don't really think it's going to help. Yeah, that's a stop right there. That was kind of just a dirty move, honestly. It looked clean. It looked like a really, really, really obvious short to me. Hey, man, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you coming and hanging out. Yeah, we'll be streaming pretty consistent for Asia, for New York as well. So 2 wins today on the stream, took 1 loss right here. Kind of just invalidated the idea I was looking at like very, very violently. So now I'm going to start to consider, what are we actually doing with structure? It's just ranging down here at the lows. This kind of move was really kind of dirty in my opinion. Something I didn't really anticipate to happen that quick, but it's all good. I'd start to consider any of these as inversions. Like that could be a thing that happens for us to then obviously trade back towards the highs. Get rid of this daily level, I think is fine. We have a little bit of a change in state right here. From 230, you're in from 280 stop loss low for a break of 320. Yeah, I mean, that's the next move. That's the next move, right? I'll be looking at that to the upside. Trying to be mindful of this 5 minute, but it doesn't seem like the 5 minute really cares about much. In my mind, I'm thinking about this entire gap right here. I'm thinking about this, this order block right here. I'm thinking about the consecutive lower highs. And for me, I'm like, what are we bouncing off of? That's what my thought process is. Whether or not it actually holds lowers, obviously you can see how it's playing out. But yeah, if I'm looking at this, obviously my next target would be swing points. That's what I'd be looking at. But yeah, I'm just kind of interesting one. So down 90 bucks, nothing crazy. I could take this little consolidation right here for the highs for that swing point right there. Oh yeah. This is the what drawing tool? It's just like it's like a screen brush. It's like just anything for Mac. You go look up like brush. So that's how I'm doing this. It's not for trading view. I'm trading on Project X top one futures right here. You can see, but yeah, yeah, I don't like this trade. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't think I like this trade up here. Let's see what the 30-second looks like. Yeah, I don't think I like this up here. I think it's a little too high for me. I think it's a little too high for me. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't know what I'm doing with that. I do not like that. Yeah, exactly. So I like to just draw it out. It has a little magnifying glass right here. So if you have a Mac, it's just called Screen Brush. You get it in the App Store or whatever. There's probably different ones for PC, but I love this thing. Even if I'm not streaming, I'm drawing with this. So down 128 bucks. That was kind of a bad trade. I was like, yeah, thinking higher low. I don't really like this entry though. I don't like it up here. So I'm not going to get overly committed when I see like a sweep here. I see a lot of imbalances. Yes, we can run for this external high, but it's just not a trade I like. I'm not going to touch that. I'm more inclined to look for the bearish short down to the lows at the high, like the sweep of the high for the trade. I find that to be a more consistent trade with Asia. But we'll zoom out a little bit. Even if it works, I don't care. I don't care if it works for the highs. It's not my entry. It's not the entry I want. Yeah, what a nice little trap they got going. Yeah, now they send it lower just to rip it higher. Really did not anticipate it moving like this off that push. I figured continuation at least to down here, maybe something in here. So I'm going to watch real quick how we hold versus these highs. It is holding pretty well. Seems like it. You see a little cup action right here. Anywho. I don't want to get baited into anything. I don't want to force a trade. Just want to see what we're doing here. Kind of consolidating, kind of bull flagging. That's this wick. Yeah, it's like this is a good long on the 30-second. Down here. Seems like it might want to just drift higher. Alrighty. Let's monitor this versus the highs. What are we doing? We're kind of meandering at the highs. Do I want to try the short right here? Maybe I do. I think I might. Holy jeez. Holy shit. What the holy shit. That was a good entry, guys. Look at that. Wow, what a move. I take one off at these lows. I don't even know. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do with this. That happened so quick. Is it gonna come give me a break even? At least I took one off. Wow, what a move. Ugh. How nasty. Leave me alone. Let's see if it'll stay in the trade. Now, wow, what a move. Could have maybe taken more off, yeah, obviously, but geez, talk about a stop raid. Do I want risk on here? I don't know if I want risk. I think I want to be break even. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do here. I think I'm just gonna leave it. Ugh. Yeah, that was something else right there. I know none of you survived that. That's for sure. I know none of you survived that. That was a stop on everybody. Wow, what was that? Anywho, these vicious bounces. This is a pretty crazy range. It's a pretty crazy range. That was a, we're talking, that was a what, 30-point candle? 30-point candle on a 1 minute chart. That's not nice. That's called getting smoked. Alrighty, now let's see what we're gonna do. What's the next move from here? Are we gonna run it higher? I really don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. That was like such a fast move. At least I got one contract off, but man, what a crazy move. Ugh. There's not a trade I can take right here. There's really not. This is just it's too hectic at this moment. I gotta give it a second to kind of cool down. Yeah, that's like, when you go down and up at 30 points in 2 minutes, 3 minutes total round trip, I can't do anything. I mean, maybe I could use this as an order block if I use the whole structure as risk, but like, really, what are we doing here? Are we getting some news? Is that what we're doing? I mean, I do favor the longs overall, I think, at this point. I'm glad I didn't get long or stopped in that. Man, what a move. Yeah, shorts seem kind of dead. Shorts seem kind of dead. The longs seem like they're going to be picking up. I don't know what I want to do with this. It's kind of ridiculous action. Kind of ridiculous price action, honestly. I'm going to be watching the sweeps. Because is this going to be a sweep right here for then it to run for the lows? Man. It's a 5 minute really telling me. I don't even know how to kind of review this. This is wild. So we had my failed short, right? We had my failed short. Then we had this failed long right here, and now we're running for the highs. Okay, cool. So I know where the swing points are. I know where the daily open is. 3 minute looks good. Okay, let's see. So a 3 minute look good for a long is what you're saying? Yeah, I mean, it kind of does. It really kind of does. What are you trading towards? 380? Is that what we want? We're going to trade this towards 380? Or what are we thinking? I don't know, man. We still have this initial order block right here. Is this going to be our breaker? What do you think? What do you think, my man? Matter of fact, I can even pull you on stream if you want. Send you an invite. Let me know. We'll go walk through this together. Next time. Next time, because I know you got everything now. That's all good. Okay. It's weird because I think the structure looks nice, but I don't know for what. I feel it. I think longs are in, but I don't know if I want to get involved in all that. Yeah, we'll do New York. We can do New York tomorrow or whenever. Let me know. Do I want to long this right here? I kind of do. Kind of do. But I also kind of don't because I literally remember what happened like 5 seconds ago. Oh. I think I got to wait. I think I still have to wait. Because it's like, it tells me, yeah, get it. Go for the long. But I'm like, I've taken that trap enough many times. Number of times. So I'm thinking maybe it's trying to get me to long it. Maybe do we do a little short? A little short right here? Let's try to get these lows real quick. 23K, no big deal. See if we get it. Let's see if we get the run down to the lows. So on a move towards like 380s, I'm gonna trail us to profit. I've seen a couple candles. We need a couple candles. We can do this. $34 points. I could do that. That's easy. What if we took this one off at the lows? Would that be insane? What do you guys think? Do you think this would be a crazy target? I really don't know with this price action. It's kind of like, it's kind of letting me know it's kind of squirrely. So what if I just want to give it a bigger target? You know, that'd be 100 points right there. 100 bucks, I mean, 50 points. I can be risk-free pretty soon. I'm going to take risk off pretty soon. Right now, the stop's just hovering. It's not moved officially. I'm just holding it with my mouse. So I think I'm going to push towards 80, and maybe next candle I can move it. Type of price action makes you not want to blink, though. I'll say that much. Maybe I do want to move it. I don't know. I'm so unsure with this action. I'm so unsure. Maybe I want to trim it a little. At 13 bucks, yeah, I think it's fine. Because I'm thinking if this is going to form a lower high right here, then we're good. But it doesn't have to. It could just invert all this stuff like it's been doing. Three minutes changed dramatically, I'll say. 1 minute looks good right here. Yeah, 1 minute looks kind of clean. I'm not moving it officially yet, but I'm about to. Once it makes a lower low on the 15 second, once it flips the 1 minute candle, need a lower low on the 1 minute so I can move this. Kind of want to move it just so I can, you know, fix my hair. Let's see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I do think this will be pretty volatile coming up. I think it's going to get kind of crazy. So I'm willing to try for the lows. You guys see my logic. You see my trade. If it can get through, like it really can get through here, it's going to run for this, and then it should just kind of stab for it. The 3 minute really did get invalidated, I would say a lot. 1 minute's the whatever, two's eh. Will it go lower without digging is the question though, because I think I just might want to reach for us. Yeah, it's gonna kind of reach for us, I think. Maybe get a little room. Nah, it's gonna go for the stop. It's tricky. It's tricky. Like it gives you a bone, gives you a little bit breadcrumb, and that's it. See what the 5 looks like right here. 5 looks kind of good. 5 looks kind of good. The rejection. I mean, it's versus this order block too. You know, 5 looks kind of good right here. Just I need to give it more room, I guess. Yeah, it ain't gonna happen. This thing's gonna flip the candle, I bet. It's gonna flip the candle. Very tricky price action. It's bound to do something though, because of how much it's moved, the volatility right now. This move, when I caught this, I can't believe I gave that back. I really can't believe I walked that all the way back. So dumb. But let's see. This next candle will either push the highs really quick or it'll roll. I want to see it get below this wick. Like in a couple minutes, tops. Yeah, this is going to go for the style. That's funny. Let's see. This little gap holding it. That's about it. Need this swing to get pushed through quickly. Want that to be the order block for the 1 minute and 30 second. I mean, I could give it there. I don't really need to. Yeah, it's probably just going to run it. Look at that. Nasty work. Back and forth, people getting swiped. Nasty work. Was it a couple ticks? It's whatever, 40 bucks. Look for the lows. Stops placed right at the structural point. Let's see a flip. We need a candle flip. Do you think we can get the candle flip right here? Let's see if we get this down to here. One thing I'm very, very consistent with in Asia is understanding if I see price kind of moving to my stop, I'm like, let me try to give it a couple more points. I've just been in too many scenarios where it will get me almost exactly to my stop or exactly break even and stop me out. That I'm like, whatever goes on in this session, it has a pretty good understanding of like where I might be positioned. Like I find that to be extremely consistent. So if I see this kind of dig into where my stop might be, maybe it's on this fair value gap, I'm gonna kind of be like a little more understanding. I might give it a couple points. I might give it a little like 20% extra in risk. I might move it back to full risk versus break even because I know it's gonna happen. More often than not, this thing will stop me. And if you guys can remember, I'm pretty sure we had our stop like right here. I'm pretty sure we did. I'm pretty sure we tightened it down to here, or even lower maybe. And now we moved it back to like the structure point. I think the initial stop was like right here. So that literally almost got me. So question is whether or not we can push these lows right here on the 30-second chart. Let's form this order block. If you're enjoying the stream, leave a like, let YouTube know you are enjoying the stream. And that way it can get out to more traders like yourself. Just kind of going back and forth, looking at this 5-minute chart, really going to guide the way for our bias. Would love to see a continuation under the low a day. Under the low of the Asia session would be quite nice to see, to be honest. So this is going to be our prior day low. I want to annotate that. This is a really important level for us to make or break at. We have danced nicely around this level. It's given us a nice push here. We're rebounded, came back. We're in that 5-minute order block. Let's see if we can get some momentum to the downside. We have traded back into the 5-minute order block. That 5-minute order block was validated by a smaller fair value gap. So to me, I think this is a bearish structure. I also see there's a 1-minute fair value gap. Pretty clear. This is actually where we got in. We got in on this right here, on this structure for the 1 minute. Boom. So now here we are. There are 5-minute structure and our 1-minute structure. We'll kind of divide them. Can we get the continuation lower? Can we see this 5-minute inside bar break to the downside? These are the questions I'm asking myself as I watch price develop. We had a pretty easy move and then it turned into a longer trade. So now we're still sitting here. If you guys remember, we caught the short here perfectly. Nailed that. Let it walk back. Yeah. Many times during Asia, I will get burned on clear signals, short or long. Yep. Yep. I will see what I think is the easiest trade and you just get taken out back and put to sleep, you know? So there's that. But with this being said, I do think, I mean, we had a massive sell-off today. I think the natural tendency is lower. I've tried it enough times trying to long this stuff that it ends up drifting lower. So I think if we can survive this stuff and get positioned up towards the highs, it should just give us just a little bit, at least to the lows. But you know, that's just my best judgment. We're not overly committed. We have 2 micros for crying out loud. We're not too worried. NFP tomorrow, so remember that. That's gonna be a big one. Could very well just chop around till then. Hopefully this 5-minute candle is just forming the top wick right here. We want to see a top wick form for us to then close lower. Anywhere near this 270, 260 area on this next 5-minute candle would be appreciated. So thanks everybody for tuning in. If you're just joining the stream, be sure to leave a like. We are trying for the downside expansion, the continuation of today's trade from the morning. We've been positioned a couple times in this stream, kind of back and forth right here a little bit. I'm settling on this idea of it going lower. This was my initial idea, so I'm going to just let this kind of work. If I can see some continuation, then we'll be hopefully fortunate enough to get this exit down here. I don't like this. I don't like this dance at prior day low. I will say that. That's a very big red flag to me. I want it to disrespect prior day low. Don't even think it's there, you know? Let it go completely below it. All right, guys, we're going to just look for this to trade towards low day. If we get below this 5-minute candle, I'll use this as an order block as well. Right here. That'll be the next order block I have in mind. All right. Anywhere near 80. Close under here. I'm going to just move the stop to break even pretty much. It's probably almost time. All right, you see that displacement through the order block that we are potentially seeing. I want to see this become validated, right? I want to see it respect this level. I want it to close below here, because then what I'll do is I'll take my fib tool from the bodies of these candles. I'll go 50%. I want to see this stay under the 50%. If we can get it to close under here, I'll move my stop to the 50%. Probably will do that right now, honestly. All right, so stops at the 50% of this order block right here. All right, guys. So we want to see this push towards low a day. If we could get a push towards low a day, we'll get the exit. We'll probably take this off at 250, just to keep it conservative. After that, we'll probably just take it off at 200. Any sort of move below the swing, I'm going to trail it. So you guys know my thought process. If you're enjoying the stream, leave a like. We'll be wrapping up soon. This one brings us back to break even if it gets hit. So we're in this area. Just not what you want to see. You don't want to see it do this. You want to close below. Let it close below and we'll get the run to the low a day. That's what we want to see. Still bearish order flow. We're still respecting down close candles as resistance. We've seen a couple examples of this right here. And then it should be no different with any of these here. That's the idea. The 5-minute candle does not look great to me. This is prior day low being retested. We want to see this now flip, get under here. That's the objective. If not, it'll just trail us for a couple bucks, which is unfortunate. Whatever. Maybe just give this a little more room, break even. Yeah, it's just not giving the moves. Oh well. Not much you can do here. There's not much you can do here. We got a nice move and it just keeps giving you these 20, 30 point bounces. So all we can do is try our best to hold on, but I don't see a point in opening up risk if it's not proving itself. It's right now, it's invalidating itself. Showing this 5-minute range is pretty resilient. All right, so we'll take the break even right here. Oh well, should just stop us. We gave it a shot. We held on. I felt like we had a pretty good technical read on what was happening, and then it's just this invalidation of this order block right here, this opening price. You know, this candle right here, it just rejected it, and now it's digging for that stop. Okay, now cool. That's the break even. So we're down 80 bucks on the day. I think I'm done there. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for asking questions, keeping me company, chatting. As always, we will be streaming Asia. We'll be streaming New York. So come hang out for some time. Check the link in the description. If you're interested in Top 1 Futures, 55% off any account, summertime, end of summer sale. So go ahead, check that out. DTA will get you the best discount possible. And as always, remember, decipher the algo.